it is high tide, huh?
Where will you run, my soul? Where will you go when wells run dry? And when the wind starts to blow, how you gonna keep this flame alive? In the fading light when night is breaking, I know you will always be waiting. You'll always be there. I'm running to the secret place where you are, where you are. I'll sing to you of all the ways you stole my heart, stole my heart. Better is a moment that I spend with you than a million other days away. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running to the secret place. Ooh, 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 ooh. You are my only hope. You are the rock on which I stand, and you will not let me go. I know that I'm safe inside your hands. In the fading light when night is breaking, I know you will always be waiting. You'll always be there. I'm running to the secret place where you are, where you are. I'll sing to you of all the ways you stole my heart, stole my heart. Better is a moment that I spend with you than a million other days away. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running to the secret place. The hands are lifted high, hearts awake to life. We are satisfied here with you, here with you. Chains will hit the floor, broken lives restored. We couldn't ask for more. Here with you, here with you. Hands are lifted high, hearts awake to life, and we are satisfied here with you, here with you. Chains will hit the floor, and broken lives restored. We couldn't ask for more. Here with you, here with you. Running to the secret place where you are, where you are. I'll sing you of all the ways you stole my heart, stole my heart. Better is a moment that I spend with you than a million other days away. I'm running, I'm running, I'm running to the secret place. We're running, we're running, we're running. Oh, we're running to the secret place. the ocean. What a time it is for me, just to see your face in the sunlight.
Oh, he's so soft.
For me.
Feel him again, Nate.
Oh, it's
Got him on his
time
back. Real gentle.
for us to recognize this life and what it is.
Isn't that awesome?
Wow, he was big.
Oh, it's time for us to take control of our lives and what they bring.
Very shy. He's very emotional. He's very shy.
Just sitting here in the open air, all my worries, they seem to fade. Looking up to the great unknown, oh, I feel alive. Oh, it's time for us to recognize this life and what it is.
Never seen
Oh,
one.
it's
Look at him,
time
Nate.
for us to take control of our lives and what they
That's
bring.
good right there.
Take in the breeze, feel the sand between your toes. Oh, I wanna go old by the ocean. Take in the breeze, feel the sand between your toes. Oh, I wanna go old by the ocean. Take in the breeze, feel the sand between your toes. Oh, I wanna go old by the ocean. Take in the breeze, feel the sand between your toes. Oh, I wanna go old by the ocean.
So Chelsea likes to start filming way before we realize that she's actually filming. And
Practice.
this is setting us up for some pretty awkward blooper reels.
We need
or
practice. Sorry, he needs chapstick. Just
Minnie's
hold on
coming over.
just a
No,
second.
Minnie's coming.
Oh, Minnie wants to come say hello. Come here, Min. Come here. Come here, big bird. Come here, old big bird. There she is.
So if you didn't know, because Chelsea likes to do highlight reels of Noodle, almost only and exclusively
Noodle's a
continually.
celebrity.
Noodle has a huge Instagram following, if you didn't know that. This is somewhere out there on the interweb. You guys can try to find that. Good luck with that. But anyways, today we are going to talk about California.
There's a cat butt in my face.
Noodle.
Noodle.
We're struggling this morning on figuring out how to hit film. We're back. It's been a long break. I don't know what she was just doing there. But we've had some awkward outtake moments in order to try to get this film rolling. So we're just going to go. We are going to talk about California. Tidepooling.
It might have been our best 3 weeks in this entire
Everness.
time RVing.
No, just like your whole entire life. You know that
Yeah,
moment
that's
when you...
amazing.
Have any of you ever had a moment where you actually realize you're probably experiencing one of the single best moments of your entire life and there's nothing you can do to stop it? That sounds weird. There's nothing you can do to make it happen again, longer, and better?
Yeah, you can't prolong it. You can't
You're so...
extend it.
But you so
you can't
desperately...
even fully, grasp it.
But you kind of know. But you don't want to say
This
it.
is awesome.
Like, this is
And
probably
this might
some of
never happen again, and this is really special.
We had a lot of those moments in the last couple weeks that we have been in California. Honestly, in no way, shape, or form can I start to articulate to you how incredibly special and important it is for our entire RV life adventure to end up at the Tidepools capital of the United States.
Do you want to talk about what tide pooling means to you? Tide pooling means...
Tide pooling is a heavy thing. So...
Yeah.
I know some of you watching this are very familiar with my story and some of my background of growing up in a less than awesome and ideal environment, but tide pooling, my family used to take us out to California, and one of the breaks from kind of the chaos and all the rest of it was going out to the ocean and wandering down your way to the beach in Laguna Beach, Victoria's Beach, kind of all this little region that we ended up going to. They have some of the most incredible little tide pooling. And tide pools are literally like perfect saltwater aquariums. Like the kind of aquarium that when you go to an aquarium store and they're like, this is our best aquarium ever.
And there's tons of tiny little pools.
And there's
And
thousands
everywhere.
of them. There's thousands of them. And all these little animals are just living
And
their
they're all
lives
different.
in this beautiful little sanctuary. And for me, it was this place of total safety and absolute reckless abandoned joy, because I got to see a whole other world and climb inside it. And I really think that's the heart of the Father in each and every one of us, is to see life being fulfilled in the way it's supposed to happen. And I got to experience that when I was over in these tide pools, and I would get to rummage through and find little remnants of seashells and treasured rocks and really cool little critters. And this time I found an octopus. When do you find an octopus? They're such good hiders.
cool.
Like, if you've never tried to really find octopus in tide pools, they're super difficult to find. And I found a big one,
Yeah.
camouflaging himself in the grass, just sneaking his way through life, man. And like,
So
it's so
beautiful.
incredible. There's tropical fish sometimes, and what you don't know is the mystery of what will be in the next tide pool. And it's this constant treasure hunt.
Yep.
And that's what I love so much about it.
Well, one of the places we went tide pooling was called Treasure Cove. Or wasn't it Treasure Cove?
Yeah, Treasure Cove,
Treasure
and then
Cove
Little
and
Treasure
Little
Cove.
Treasure Cove, and it's so true. Like, there are these little pockets of just hidden treasures in there, and
Mm-hmm.
you just have to explore them. And you might look at a tide pool and see something totally different than somebody else who comes by.
Like
and
5
sees
minutes
something.
later, they're literally, the ocean
There's
is so cool.
many amazing things in there.
'Cause it's
Sea
spitting out new
anemones
things.
and these amazing sea slugs. Were they sea slugs? Sea snails or something. They were the
Creatures.
coolest little creatures, and they were so soft and just sweet.
We didn't touch them, we promise.
No, they just looked soft. Uh-huh.
Like velvet. Like dear velvet soaked in ocean water for 6 months. It's amazing.
Yeah, it was just so great. It was a special time, and yeah, even when I was like looking at all the clips to put in this video and like trying to decide what clips to use, like I was just crying because I realized like, wow, like that was a very special 3 weeks there. That was really
Yeah.
special, and it was hard to leave there.
Yeah.
Like, it was hard to leave there knowing that, like, we may never get to come back here and visit this beautiful place, but what an honor it was to be able to experience that, and especially with our little daughter, and
Yeah.
it was so fun.
And she at first wasn't totally kind of understanding it. Along this trip, every time we go to the beach, Chelsea and I are like, we're going to go beachcomb for hours and days, and we're going to find so many amazing treasures. Doesn't happen with the toddler, right? Because the toddler is like, I found sand at the entrance of the beach. They sit down and they're going to play, and that's it. They don't care. Naomi started to really figure out how cool tide pools were as she developed more, and she was able to actually appreciate, like, oh my gosh, how cool is it to touch a sea anemone and feel them close around your fingers, and she loves that.
Or hold the little hermit crabs.
And let it crawl
and-
all over her. She's like really liked it. So for her
Yeah.
and I to be able to go there, like Naomi has no idea the level of unique opportunities that she has been entrusted with by us starting our RV adventure right when she was at an age where she could actually figure out what we're doing and be a part of it. And that's what she is. She's an active participant. Oh,
Cat
sorry, we've got some cats.
problems.
But Naomi delights in the water, and she loves the beach so much. And so it was a special time for her and I to bond, and also for me to just feel that overwhelming peace that I've kind of chased all my life. All my life I've been running from one thing to another, looking for something that will help me to settle down enough and feel that total contentment and peace. And the reality is, I don't think there is anything in this world that can satisfy us. Anything in this world that can satisfy us that is outside of what the Creator and our Father designed for us to be fulfilled in. And that's through Him and a relationship with Him. And I've got to experience that now. Chelsea and I have kind of chased each one of our dreams along this trip and realized every one of them is vanity. At the end of the day, like, the tide pools didn't cure me. The tide pools aren't going to be the thing that fixes me. Spending all this time with Chelsea and Naomi has been incredible, but it doesn't fix either of us. Those issues that all of us have when we try to find that next thing, that final scratch that will finally satisfy us, it will relieve us temporarily. But at the end of the day, if the Father doesn't work in us and through us, it doesn't matter, and it's kind of a waste. And so it was a death to my own dream, in a sense, because I realized as much as I want to be here, as much as this is amazing, like, we still have to leave. We can't stay in our dreamland all the time, and RV life is that. You can't perpetually stay in your dream as much as you want to. Sooner or later, your RV becomes a house, just like your house, and it becomes less of the novelty factor. All these things eventually wear off, but Chelsea and I.
And if you're looking for an escape, it's not that. Like, you're still gonna have problems. Your problems are gonna still follow you wherever you are, even if you're in a tiny home or if you're in a regular size home. Like, you're still gonna, like, it's still life, you know. You still have to deal with the nitty gritty of life. And I don't know. I think at first we were kind of looking to the RV life to just, as kind of an escape.
Yeah.
An escape for some of the hardness and the trials of life. But we realized that it wasn't that. But at the same time, like, living tiny makes you have to work on things because you can't keep shoving things under the rug. Whereas in a bigger house and when you're so busy, you know, in normal life, like, you can just ignore those things. But I mean, it just, all the problems rise to the surface in the RV. So I'm really thankful for this time because we were able to, like, hash through a lot of things and work through a lot of just personal conflict, like, you know, personal problems, like issues that I've had my entire life that I wasn't even aware of, but God kind of has pointed them out and trying to, you know, work through those and get some resolution on those. So even I was really thankful for this time. And but it was really cool how God, even along this journey, like, kind of like he speaks to you through his creation too, you know, and lets you know that he's there and that he loves you. Yeah. And, like, I think there was a really cool experience like you had. Do you want to talk about that with the dolphins? Well,
so for those of you who have not come from a very traumatic background, so even those that have, everybody's got baggage, right? And a lot of that shapes our identity. And we allow the lies that have been spoken over us from maybe a very early age or even our teenage years or even when we were young adults. It doesn't matter. The enemy gets his lies into us, and what it does is it reforms us into his image. The father of lies wants us to look like him, whereas the father of truth, he wants us to be in his image as we were intended to be, as we were created to be. And so much of my identity had been shaped into this idea that I'm a piece of trash, or I'm a failure. And it had been so defining me, and I could not shake that for so many years of my life, and feeling as though I'm stricken with this disease of being a failure. And that morning, Chelsea and I were at Crystal Cove, and we were sitting there talking about all of these things, and, like, Chelsea just said to me, like, I love you, in a way she said to me plenty of times, but, like, it was very different because I actually believed that in a very sincere way, because I've started to let go of this identity that I don't hate myself, that I don't need to carry self-hatred, because how can I love anybody else if I maintain self-hatred? You can't, because he who loves much, right, he's been forgiven much, should love much, but the person I could never love much was myself. And so the Father was working that out of me through this whole trip, and as I'm sitting there, I finally believe Chelsea does love me, and I actually believe that. And I look out there and I believe that, like, God spoke to me that he loves me too, in a very real and sincere way, that I've been reading my Bible my whole life, and I know that he says these things, but to experience it and believe it were two different things, and it was reshaping my identity. And right after I really believed that, I looked out and there's hundreds of dolphins in this pod going right outside our window, like literally outside my dining room window. There's pods and pods and pods of dolphins just jumping in the air, and they're so happy, and they're so free, and they're so alive, and it's out my window. And I just start weeping because I realize, like, this is how he says I love you sometimes. Sometimes he says it through other means, but this time he just said it like that. And it was such a blessing, you know? I could have been anywhere else in the entire world, literally at that moment. And instead I was exactly there, and I happened to look out and see that. And
if you look out here, here's our view. If you look very closely, you can see those splashes out in the water. It's schools of dolphins.
I was able to look at that and watch that. And then Naomi out of nowhere was playing in the other side of the room, and I was just praying there. She came over to me and put her hand on me and said, you're not a failure, Dad. And it, like, she just gets up and, like, goes away, like, goes back to playing. Like, she said it twice to me, and I have no idea why, you know, but I do. I really believe the Lord spoke through her, and it's a reshaping of my identity, and I believe that, you know. And so much of this trip, I've been chasing that repatterning of my identity into the image of what he wanted me to be, you know. And, like, I love my daughter, I love my wife, and I love the fact that I get to experience the Father's love and regeneration into my soul through them and through his creation. That's why Chelsea and I love. We did this lifestyle so that we could be more in his creation rather than trapped in what had become its own prison cell with these jobs that we'd worked in, this neighborhood that we lived in, and the houses that we were trapped in, and the debt that we were buried in. We lived in these prison cells, and we were so tired of being institutionalized and not knowing what it was like to experience a free life. And so much of us do. We may have live in the land of the brave and the home of the free or whatever, and it's not true. So much of us are just living enslaved. And we had to go 10,000 miles to figure out that slavery is in our own heart. It's not out there, you know. And so Chelsea and I couldn't be more thankful for each and every one of you that comes along with us on this journey and is willing to ride this crazy roller coaster that we like to spend our lives on. And it's going to be changing here as we start to head back to through Arizona and Colorado and back home, you know, and to be having another baby and growing our family. And we don't know what our tomorrows are going to bring. We really don't. We don't know where we wake up the next day most times, you know, and we have no idea where we're going to sleep. And we love it. We love it at the same time. It's time for some things to change, and we're really excited for that. So I just want to take a second to thank each and every one of you sincerely for coming along with us on this journey and for partnering with us through your prayers and through your support, and any one of you who's donated to Chelsea and I, or who's contributed to us through giving us meals or a place to stay overnight. And we can't thank each and every one of you enough, truly. And we really look forward to getting to know more of you and look forward to all the new times that we have opportunity to fellowship with each of you. But sincerely, from the bottom of our heart, we thank you guys.
Nothing but skills.
And